lucky to meet you.
Growing up with quite liberal parents and I think an alternative upbringing in some ways. I've attended the Red Off Slanner School, which is sort of alternative philosophy, which encourages creativity and things like that in school, a little bit less scientific. But at the same time, I think I'm naturally quite mathematical because my dad's an accountant. So I had some quite strong maths and science as well. So towards the end of school, I moved to another school which was a little bit more structured, and ended up at the end of school without really knowing what to do. I decided to go to university to study engineering, partly because not that was what I was interested in, but because that was what I was good at. I was sort of, found maths and science easier, so I just ended up in civil engineering. But I've also always had a enjoyment of the outdoors. I've done a lot of tramping, a lot of skiing, a lot of water sports, and spending a lot of time outdoors basically, and in the bush. So I have had sort of like an appreciation of the environment, and coming from New Zealand as well, it's an amazing sort of beautiful country. So when I went to university, I was actually intending to do environmental engineering, but I ended up doing civil engineering instead. And since finishing that was in 2002, I graduated, and I've had about 5 or 6 years of working and travelling experience. And that's in various countries and various jobs, none of which I've enjoyed. So I've enjoyed travelling a lot, but basically my job has been about earning money and saving money for my next travels and experiences. So this coming here to study sustainable development was really a return to what I was originally more interested in, and I hope to change the direction of my life towards something more interesting. I realise when I come back to study, I love studying, I love university life, and I love being surrounded by people, really interesting people from all over the place. So that's something I could end up being here for a few more years. To make those decisions as well, after engineering, I did sort of weigh up the possibility of doing a master's in engineering, but I'd kind of come to the decision that I didn't want to be too scientific, because when you study science or engineering, it really alters your whole perception of life and your whole outlook and things like that, and I don't like being too scientific, and I don't want to be too artsy. I think that's what I like about this course as well, is that it's a really multidisciplinary, the ethics in it, and economics and history and environmental studies and natural sciences and things are all mixed together. Einstein are just amazing. The time, the hairstyle and the craziness and everything else. But I mean, it's the amount of times you're reading something which isn't related to physics or some sort of amazing science, and his kind of insights into life can be quite inspiring, I think. Another one actually of recent times would be Jared Diamond. Jared Diamond. He wrote the book Collapse and another book, Guns, Germs and Steel, and the book Collapse, which I only read last year, really gave me a big insight into past societies and how societies and how they interact with the environment is crucial, and has been a factor in the collapse of their societies. And he basically compared it to our society and how it sort of showed how at risk our society is of collapsing, even though it seems so stable at the moment. And Jared Diamond's basically a genius in so many different ways. His book covers a huge amount of areas. He knows about 12 different languages. He studies birds in Papua New Guinea, and he learns languages while in his spare time. And on top of all that, he lectures in California, I think, and so he achieves a lot basically, and in a lot of different fields. I think that kind of multidisciplinary people are quite inspiring to me. Require a lot of personal sacrifice. If the government doesn't impose it, or if somehow it's not imposed by society through norms or something like that, then it requires personal sacrifice. And I think the problem is at the moment, without those social norms or government regulations or taxes or other things like that to force you into the decision, it's harder to do, because then you see everyone else is doing it, everyone else is flying around and holidaying and travelling and having fun, and so then to be able to make the choice to personally give up all of that, where the difference is small, and that's probably not enough without everyone contributing, then it's a difficult decision to make, basically. I think the difficulty is that I think it needs to be quite regulated, and it needs to come from the top, which is also against what I sort of would like, because I don't like the idea of a government-controlled state where really strict rules are in place and that you're not allowed to travel and you're not allowed to do things you need to do. However, I think the whole system, I think there's a lot of ways that it can be done, but it doesn't necessarily completely restrict you. It just means that the cost of your decisions are somehow included in the choice. Perhaps they're priced properly. If flying was 4 times as expensive as it is at the moment, then not many people would fly, perhaps. You'd have a holiday somewhere nearby instead. So those kind of changes could be in place, but then again, they're just all individual ideas, which I'm not sure whether I would like to be somehow in the decision-making process. I've definitely never dreamed of being a politician, because I think the whole process of trying to get people to support you and follow you doesn't appeal to me. Like campaigning or trying to preach to people or convert people or something like that isn't appealing. I would like to have some sort of position where I could be behind the scenes making decisions or basically tell the politicians what to say and get them on the right track. Because I think I don't like politicians that much, and I think a lot of them are kind of controlled by alternative interests, businesses, and where they get their donations and finances from and things like that. So I think probably like a lot of people, I have the kind of dream of being like an honest sort of member of society where you can improve things for society as a whole, and particularly for New Zealand. But I don't know that I want to be in that position where I've got to be a public figure. Well, that's 2012. When I'm 50, I want to have, I guess, I want to be happy, which needs a lot of things. I want to have like a wife, and I want to have a family and children and things like that. Not too many, because I think there's a population problem on this. So I don't want to be too much of a part of it. We have a big family, and I've actually heard my parents say if they could go back now, they see the problem of big families, and they also consider the problem, and we've got 5 children. So perhaps if they had the present outlook now, then I would have never been born on them before. But so I was lucky. But yeah, I think a small family and a happy family. I want to be healthy, and I want to be sporty. Like my father, he plays a lot of sports still, tennis and golf and other things, or just outdoors in general, hiking and tramping and camping. So I guess both spiritual and physical health. In terms of what I'm doing, I don't know exactly. As I say, I don't really know where I'll be, but I want to be doing something which is interesting. So hopefully I'll have a job which I get up and go to for enjoyment, not just for money and just to love my family.
Happy to meet you.